any claims for invasion of privacy, appropriation of likeness, or defamation. Zoom master, please start the recording. Thank you. Welcome to Leadership Speak, an advanced Toastmasters club for leadership development. We are one of the top 5 clubs globally. I am Tati Mukhanto from South Africa, your sergeant at arms of the meeting. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Leadership Speak is the premier club for experienced Toastmasters to become better self-directed leaders. We are an advanced club focused primarily on leadership development in everything we do. Our timer, Eres Casanella, has virtual hand raised, so we all can immediately see who is keeping the time. John Ojiefo is our Toastmaster of the day, who will lead our meeting. He has been a member of Toastmasters for 8 years, but a member of Leadership Speak for 11 months. John is also a member of multiple clubs in District 36, where he has served several leadership roles numerous times at the club and district levels. John earned his Distinguished Toastmasters Award in 2020 and completed Pathways Effective Coaching Level 5, Dynamic Leadership Level 4, Persuasive Influence Level 4, Motivational Strategies Level 2, and the Toastmasters Mentor Program. A seasoned leader indeed. Professionally, John is a physician scientist, a retired college professor, and a health scientist administrator at the National Cancer Institute of the National Institutes of Health in the USA. Please help me welcome John Ojiefo to the lectern.
Thank you, Madam Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Ntati. Hello to all our fellow Toastmasters and especially our guests. We welcome you to our 148th meeting today. And we are thrilled that you can join us. And please take note that we have posted the agenda on the in the chat. So please take a look at the agenda so that you can follow us. The theme of our meeting today is leading strategically. You see, leading strategically is the gateway to excellence in service. Strategic leadership goes beyond guiding teams with vision and purpose. It is about building a thriving. It is about ensuring every action reflects a commitment to service excellence, which is our core value. In today's competitive world, leading strategically is essential for building a thriving, forward-looking organization. By building strategic leadership with dedication to service, excellence becomes the foundation of organizational success. This approach fosters a culture that values innovation, collaboration, and adaptability, enhancing one's experience in achieving long-term goals. At Leadership Speaks, self-directed leaders build real-world skills. Through interactive discussions, critical thinking exercises, and hands-on activities, we are committed to creating a resilient environment focused on service excellence, empowering each member to make meaningful contributions. Our educational speaker will be elaborating on this topic shortly. In the meantime, please relax and follow along. Now, we would like to proceed to the toast. And it is my pleasure to introduce our Toastmaster Nziga Jassy, all the way from Angola, to raise the toast to the theme of our meeting. Toastmaster Nziga, please, the virtual letter is yours. Over to you.
Excellence is not a skill. It is an attitude. It's my pleasure to propose a toast today to excellence in service. By starting to quote my dear friend, DTM Dorothy Shanakira, who says, "In service, we become distinguished." Bringing excellence to life, to me, is about doing every little thing a bit better than the last time. It's about being committed to deliver what I promised to do with that little improvement each time. For you, it could be about the way you engage during this meeting. For me, sometimes it's about how I plan my meetings, how I even cook dinner. Today, I'm inviting you to think about how do you bring excellence to life. Another way to bring excellence to life, no matter what type of organization you are working in, is being clear about whom you serve. As a leader, it's not yourself. It is those in the front line working towards the common goal. We must have an acute awareness of their needs, of what they need to do their best, so we can do our best in support them. I believe that we become excellent by consistently delivering high quality work, servicing others, committed to our goals. Join me raising your glass to our leaders, their unwavering commitment to excellence, and to the exciting meeting ahead. Cheers to becoming distinguished. To
Yes,
becoming distinguished.
to becoming distinguished. Thank
Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nziga from Angola. Very appropriate toast. Now, according to the agenda, it's time to call on the timer. And the timer, the timer is Toastmaster Iris Casinella. Can you spot? Okay, how are you today, Iris? How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you very much for asking.
Great. Now it's over to you. Please tell us what you'll be doing today.
Good day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm Irish. I'm your timer for today. I shall time you according to the times as per the agenda. And at the end of the session, of each session, I shall post the times in the chat box. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Iris Casinella. Our next role is the grammarian. And it's my pleasure to call on Marian Sidavi. Marian, welcome. Please, can you scan the spotlight, Sidavi, please?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome. How are you?
Fine, thank you so much.
So how's the weather in Tehran, Iran? How is
You know, the weather is so amazing because already we are in the second month of the autumn.
Oh, okay, lovely. Yeah. So over to you, please. Tell us what you'll be doing today.
Okay.
Describe your role.
Okay. Fellow Toastmaster and the guest. As the grammarian, it's my responsibility to pay the close to the attention to all the speaker, listening carefully to the language usage. I will take a note of any improved language as any outstanding words, quote, saying, or thought. Is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. In the end of the meeting already, I will give the grammarian report when the call opened during the meeting, and they also report on the usage of the word of the day. Over to you.
Oh, okay. Before you go, can you please display your background to show the word of the day?
Sure.
Yeah,
a few minutes, please.
Yeah, please. Kindly spotlight. Okay, can you move? Okay, so please let's do this again so that people can understand. Can you describe your role and tell us the word of the day again so that people can follow?
Okay, no problem. Okay, actually, what's the happening? Why like this one? Hold on.
Yes, we can see you. Just go ahead and.
Okay, because actually in my side, I can see the reverse. I don't know how you see the word of the day.
You're good. We are saying it correctly, Miriam. So if you could just explain what the word of the day is, which is
The
behind you.
word of the day for the today will be acute. Acute is the adjective words. Also can be used this one. The meanings of this the word will be the higher perceptive. Using in the sentence, she has an acute sense of the observation, noticing the details others overlook. Actually encourage to the every speaker the use word of the day for the today meeting. Then in the end, I will be report how many times they using the acute during the speaker or the evaluation or any role player during the meeting. Over to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Miriam. Yes, indeed, to lead strategically, one must have an acute sense of observation. Okay, let me again, for those our guests who have just joined us, please look at the agenda is posted in the chat. Please follow along. Download it and follow along. Also, the link to our guest book is also posted in the chat. Please fill the guest book. Click on the link to the guest book and sign it. We want to hear from you. Now, we'll go to the first part, which is the prepared speeches. To start us off, we will start with the education speaker. And our education speaker is Daniel Omode Odero. Dan, great, good to have you. How are you? From Kenya. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Okay, before I introduce our educational speaker, I would like us kindly spotlight his evaluator to tell us to give us an objective of his project. And that is Miral Kanti Ghosh. Miral.
Hi,
you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster John and Toastmaster Dan. Today, our leadership speaker, delivering speeches from Project Persuasive Influence, Level 5. The purpose statement of his project, member to practice developing and presenting a longer speech. All the best to you, Dan. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Dan. John.
Thank you, Toastmaster Miral. Now to introduce our educational speaker, Dan Odero. Dan Odero joined Toastmasters in January 2010 and has been a member of Leadership Speak since 2023. He's currently serving as the area director of N3 in the Northern Division District 35, which is in Wisconsin, United States of America. Professionally, Dan is a career hotelier passionate about exceptional service. Dan is also an insurance sales advisor, a multi-level marketing professional, and a life and speaking coach. Let's welcome Dan Odero to the virtual lectern. And the title of his speech is Visualization is key to leading strategically. Visualization is key to leading strategically. Dan Odero.
It was an opportune moment for me, finding myself in the new South Africa, a year after they had got independence. And this is a particularly great time to see how strategic planning becomes extremely important. I had just come out of hotel school, brimming with knowledge of how to be the best at my trade. One aspect that caught my attention and a lesson that I've learned that has stuck closely with me is that while I was at hotel school and I had picked up a magazine that was showcasing the building of a restaurant, a franchise all the way from Kenya, my home country, Kenya, was being built in South Africa. And there I was. As a hotel school student, one of the things that you do, you are sent out to the field to actually learn the theory and put it into practice. Being in South Africa for the first time, a large country, and being asked, where do I want to do my internship to learn the lessons I'm going to learn of what I have learned in theory and put into practice. I didn't know where, even though I'd seen a magazine and said, in my mind, I had said, this is where I'd work. I would lead this organization. The Carnival Restaurant is what it's called. From the time I had said that to the time I was actually being placed for an internship, 6 months had passed. So when the 6-month time came up and the time came for us to actually go out into the field, I was asked again, where do you want to go? I had forgotten what I had said in my mind. I said, I'm not sure. As a foreigner, I don't know which is the best opportunity to go and work in. Send me somewhere which has got at least some accommodation, because being a foreigner, I need assistance in finding accommodation. We were sent, I and a colleague of mine, a Kenyan also in hotel school, was sent to a place that happened to be incidentally 5 kilometers away from the Carnival Restaurant. And I only found out one afternoon, lazy afternoon, when we were walking and exploring the countryside. And there in front of us, the sign of the Carnival Restaurant appeared. Could this be opportune? How did this happen? Even if I was not sure the exact place where it was. We got in there as Kenyans. I asked them that I would like to work in this organization, a grand restaurant that serves meat of Maasai swords. The restaurant, successful back in Nairobi, back in Kenya, was new there. And the time was opportune because at the time, just after the first election in South Africa, 1995, the atmosphere was brimming. A lot of the people who were workers were a little bit were a bit hostile towards their superiors because now they had freedom. There was independence. So there was no longer lockdown. So we could the people, the staff were saying, we are the ones who are in charge. It was difficult to control some staff sometimes. Once in a while, you would hear them say, tell the leader, I am in charge. Make an appointment with us if you want to see us. And this was a little bit condescending. So how do you lead a staff that is a little bit hostile to you? Strategic leadership means that you don't only do things by directing, not only do you give instructions, you show by working together with. You work as hard as, if not harder, than the staff you lead. Strategic leadership entails that when someone doubts your leadership capability, we don't argue about it. You show by actually giving back, by showing how much you can do. You're a leader because you know the stuff that you're working on. This is strategic leadership. I am in charge not because I am more learned, but because I am also determined, I am also ready to do as much more than they are also doing. I do as much as you do and more. A strategic leader shows the way by going the way first. Visualization, we create the reality twice. First in our minds, and then in reality. We ask the question, what is it that our clientele wants to gain? What do they gain? What are they looking out for? Why do they come and patronize where we are? Because of the things that we can give. Because we serve first. And this is where strategic leadership comes by showing the way. Many a times, even though the staff doubted, a happy clientele would come back again and again because they found the experience satisfying. They felt taken care of. So even if you had a difficult staff, the staff then says, he is not one who is a driver, but because he shows the way, this is how things are done. Good example is given because in our minds, the most important person is the person we serve. As we serve, we get the clientele benefiting from the service. Great service then says, one aspect of great service is always asking, how much more, what more can I do for you? Being acute sense of what is the need, what is the need that the client has. And not only the client, also the staff you're working against, how do I help him serve better? This is the important aspect of in strategic leadership. How am I giving back? How am I contributing that the team works best? How do they come in and do their best also? What is my part in this? I see it first in my eyes and then I work on it as we do. The lessons learned by giving back. We have clientele returning over and over again because they speak about the experience they have. It's not just it's no longer just patronizing it, but it's the experience we gain, the camaraderie we have. Strategic leadership ensures that the client is satisfied with what he gains, is satisfied by his needs being addressed one after the other. They give back. By giving back, you also gain more because then success happens. With a restaurant, we had a seating of 400 for lunch, 400 for dinner, full, because by word of mouth of what they have experienced, they came back again. The staff began to enjoy serving the clientele that were patronizing us. This brings success not only for the restaurant, but also for those who are involved. And strategic leadership is a place where everybody benefits one after the other. We benefit first by what we see in our mind's eye, and then what actually becomes a reality. This is strategic leadership. Not leading by forcefully, but by being a part of a team that works and gives results that are forthcoming back again and again. The lessons of being in an area, a new area that we work with, and having the team work together strengthens not only what we gain, but also the experience that we can give back. Visualization then is definitely the key that we realize how strategic leadership is. And as leaders then, when we come in areas like also in Toastmasters and Leadership Speak, each of us gives back by working together and showing the way by doing more than is called upon us. This is what strategic leadership is. Mr. Toastmaster of the Day, back to you, John.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dan Odaro, for elaborating on the theme of today's meeting. And I took some notes in which you said strategic leadership involves the use of visualization, provision of exceptional service, and leading from the front by showing the way. It also involves, in other words, it provides exceptional service to a client, fellow member of Leadership Speak, or guest. It is paramount that we can clearly visualize the need, and in strategic leadership fashion, it is then that we fulfill this need by establishing a desired outcome while providing learning and growth in the desired areas of development. Thank you for your speech. Now I will, before I go on to the next, to call on the next speaker, I first of all would like to I would like to remind our guests that there is a link to our guest book in the chat. Please click on the link and complete it. Yes, I've seen the link again. So click on it and please complete it. Also, for the sake of guests that probably joined us later, could someone please post the agenda in the chat so that so that our guests who arrive after we started can have a copy, and so that they can follow us along. So now that we've completed the education speak, thank you, Paramjit, for providing the agenda. Now to our first speaker. Our first speaker is Toastmaster Hannah Smith from Namibia. Hello, Hannah, once more. And she will be evaluated by Toastmaster Zara Mohara. Toastmaster Zara?
Yes.
Could you kindly spotlight? And okay, so Zara, here we go. So please tell us the objective of Hannah's speech today.
Hello, everyone. I have the honor to evaluate Hannah's speech today. She's delivering her Level 3 Pathway 1, negotiate the best outcome from Dynamic Leadership Pathway. On this, she presents a past or upcoming negotiation in order to say whether how he's going to manage the negotiation through different styles and strategies. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Zara. Now, Toastmaster Hannah, as I said earlier, the Namibian tiger. She is a strategic leader and an effective storyteller and timer. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Hannah. Hannah, to buy or not to buy? To buy or not to buy? Toastmaster Hannah, over to you.
Hannah, you are muted.
Before I start, Mr. Timer, rain is imminent here with us, so it's thundering and lightning. So I don't hope that the thunder interferes with my speech, but I shall go on. Hey, thank you. We live in a world flooded with choices, tempting and often accompanied by unappealing marketing tactics. We encounter these choices daily, shaping the course of our future. Let me share the choice that shaped my future. Mr. Toastmaster, have you ever looked forward to that much-needed vacation, only to stumble across a gem during a snack break? That something that influenced your future? Jenny and I were traveling down to the coast for a short vacation to escape the sweltering heat here in Windhoek. En route, we made a quick stop to stretch our legs, quench our thirst, and satisfy our craving for something to eat. Hey, Jenny, look at that place. That's for sale. This place belonged to my grandparents, and I visited them as often as I could. That painting on my living room wall, that's this house. And this house was always so full of joyful laughter, comforting warmth, and a sense of togetherness. I have so many cherished moments here. I can't let this house slip by. To buy or not to buy? Estelle, the estate agent, was helpful. She mentioned that it was an urgent sale. The owner needs the money to relocate to Cape Town, and he'll be sending his twin daughters, to the university. Estelle, now that I'm retired, city life in Windhoek has become a bit too hectic for me. I truly appreciate the peace of that house and its tranquil surroundings. I'm interested in buying that house. But unfortunately, the asking price you mentioned is beyond my budget. I would need to speak to my bank. And after inspecting the property, I identified several maintenance issues. I suggest reducing the price or the asking price by 5% to cover for the maintenance. Please give me a few days to respond. Of course, Hannah, I have a few other interested parties as well. I kindly request an answer within 2 days. No problem, that can be arranged. This house has been on the market for 3 months now, and there are no buyers. What happened to those keen buyers that Estelle mentioned? The owner needs to relocate to Cape Town, and that is a must sell for him. To buy or not to buy, that is the question. Hannah, strive for the best deal in your negotiations. But how? How do I negotiate the best outcome? J.F. Kennedy said, let us never negotiate out of fear, but let us never fear to negotiate. So what are my options? With a lose-win or even a win-lose situation, that is a situation where one party sacrifices their interests or well-being to accommodate the wishes of another party. Not willing for me to accept because I might lose. A power-based negotiations with tactics, threats, and intimidation that can severely damage relationships and lead to a long-term negative consequence. This approach only results in a stalemate, a lose-lose situation. No one wins, no dreams come true. That is not the path I shall choose. I chose collaborative negotiations. The seller, the estate agent, and we shall reach a solution that benefits everybody. The seller will receive his money for the occasion of his twin daughters. Estelle, she will receive her commission to support her lifestyle, and I shall be the owner of that home. Fast forward. Hannah, the other parties have withdrawn their offers. They were unable to secure some financing. You have shown such strong interest in that property, so I presented your offer to the seller, and I'm happy. He has agreed to sell at that price. Estelle has demonstrated excellent in service. And Hannah, that's me. I'm happier as can be. Ladies and gentlemen, Have you ever contemplated buying a new home? And more importantly, how would you approach negotiating the best outcome? Remember, we all live in a world full of choices, with tempting and often unwelcome marketing tactics. Remain confident, be assertive in your negotiations. Let us never fear to negotiate. J.F. Kennedy. Ladies and gentlemen, to buy or not to buy, that was the option. Mr. Toastmaster.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you, Toastmaster Anna, to buy or not to buy. Thank you very much for that inspiring speech. For us to always negotiate collaboratively, for us never to fear to negotiate, and that negotiating to achieve the best outcome and provide the best service to reach our goal. I have been there several times when I'm faced with that problem. It's something that I need, and yet I don't have enough money to pay for it. Now I know what to do. I will go and negotiate. I will no longer be afraid and move away without buying this thing because I was afraid to negotiate. Thank you again, Toastmaster Hannah. So we would like to move on to the next speaker, who is Paramjit Singh, Toastmaster Paramjit Singh, our king of humor. And he will be evaluated by Toastmaster Nokawe Nkosi from South Africa. Oh, first of all, Paramjit Smith, okay, can we have Paramjit Smith before Nokawe? Okay. All right, Nokawe, please tell us the objective of Toastmaster Paramjit's speech today.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day. Greetings to the fellow Toastmasters and a special greeting to our guests, and a more special greeting to Toastmaster Paramjit. It is my acute honor to be your evaluator. The purpose of Toastmaster Paramjit's speech is for the member to introduce himself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. And he requested me to look for purposeful pauses. Meanwhile, he'll be delivering his speech and to see if they are making any impact on the speech. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you. Now, Toastmaster Paramjit. I know Toastmaster Paramjit, just for a brief introduction, because as I've said earlier, now you are the king of humor. To just introduce you to the audience, Paramjit Singh has been a Toastmaster for 4 years and a member of Leadership Speak for 2 years. And he has served different club officer roles, including President, Vice President Education, and Vice President Public Relations. He is an international humor contest champion at the division level and is the winner of the top contest. And he has achieved Triple Crown for the last 4 years. Professionally, he is a design and development manager for one of the top prestigious plastic manufacturing organizations and leading a team of 60 people to develop new plastics. Additionally, and this is what to emphasize, additionally, Paramjit Smith is a certified NLP trainer and growth mindset coach. The title of his speech today is My Avatar. My Avatar, Paragon Smith. The virtual lectern is yours.
Hello, everyone. How many of you know me or know my name? Please raise your hand, raise your hands. I can see few unfamiliar faces also. Are you still curious to know about me? Oh, by looking at your faces, I can see that you have guessed it from my attire and my face that I was made in India. I took my avatar on this Mother Earth in 1964 after my younger sister's 8th birthday. Now, why so much of delay? Because my parents were having a firm belief that slow and steady will bring them the best child. They wanted to create a masterpiece by delaying it. Interestingly, they even shifted to a new place called Chandigarh, known as the City Beautiful in India. Maybe it add to my beauty, but instead, just see what I am. Do you think they are successful in their endeavor? I am the real testament of ordering a chicken biryani and getting boiled rice with garnished potato. As a student, I was spectacularly below average. However, my family had a very big dream of following the footsteps of my two maternal uncles, who are the illustrious engineers passed with distinction from one of the prestigious institute, a Swiss institute called Indo-Swiss Training Center in India. Miraculously, I also got the admission, not because of my hard work, my talent, or my scores, but thanks to all those 7 generous people who didn't join after the waiting list. So a win is a win, and I entered the college. Now, this was not the end of my ordeal. It was actually a beginning of my ordeal. Every day, my maternal uncle's distinction was towering over my head, and gentle reminders of keeping the legacy alive of getting the gold medal. But they were not knowing that I was struggling with even basic math, physics, chemistry, and none of my classmates were helping me. They were thinking that I'm like an alien for a short visit to this college. A lot of time, I thought of packing my bag and going home. But I could visualize the disappointed faces of my family. So I was in a frustration, a fix, and like a pressure cooker, just wanted to explode and not knowing what to do. My elder sister, my lifelong mentor, my ideal, she understood my situation and guided me and gave me 2 pearls of wisdom. Paramjit, Start from the scratch, number one. Number two, the best place to find a helping hand is at the end of your own arm. I couldn't understand in the beginning, but then I realized that I was not even knowing the basics and the fundamentals of physics and chemistry. So I brought my 8th standard, 9th standard, 11th standard, and 12th standard textbooks to my hostel and started putting midnight oil when everybody was doing the snoring. I was working hard, only 3 hours of sleep. And I again became, a person to be joked about. They will call me spineless chicken. All these things I listened, but I kept on going. And that made the difference. These 2 pearls made the difference for me. In the first semester, I got 12th position. Next 10th. Third semester, 10th. And from that onwards, first, and I bagged the gold medal, surpassing my maternal uncle's marks. I am now on the roll of honor with them on the board. This helped me to get wonderful jobs in my life. I worked with Nestle in the beginning of my career, United Nations Development Program, Indian Railways. And with hard work, I passed from one area to another area and one level to another level. But the lessons are always not fair. There are a lot of lessons you learn in your life also. And we make a lot of mistakes. And one of the most unrepairable mistake I did was in 1994 and brought one trouble in my life by marrying her. And she, very much follower of Lady Power, brought 2 daughters in my life, more 2 troubles. Oh my God. Thanks. One of them is gone to Canada now. And I have to deal with only 66% of the problems. Maybe you can say I am on the vacation now. And then again, I took a bold step. I started with a very small amount, a new plastic processing unit in India. And with my hard work, self-directed leadership, servant leadership, I made it to the thriving business of 15 million of turnover per year. And this gave me a confidence. And again, I moved to UAE for the further achievements of my life. And I'm working in one of the best plastic processing units in UAE. The lessons learned have been very much helpful to me on whole of my life. Number one, when life gives you boiled rice, add spices to it to make it something to be eaten. Hard work beats the talent when the talent doesn't do hard work. And third thing, always laugh on your mistakes, learn from the mistakes, and make the life vividly enjoyable. So in front of you, sharing my story, a gold medalist, a married man, survived 30 years of marriage, and speaking to you, maybe just making you laugh. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Paramjit. You never disappoint. And that is what he said. Say, when we now see why you are the king of humor. And I see in the chat, Bram said, you ordered chicken biryani, but you got boiled rice. Okay, so thank you for that humorous speech. Now, I would like to, again, talk to our guests, please, the link to our guest book has been posted in the chat. Please complete it and sign it, sign the guest book. The link is in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, our third speaker is Luciano Juano, and he will be evaluated by Toastmaster Rose Odondu. Can we, Toastmaster, PR Master, could you kindly spotlight Rose? Okay, great, thank you. Rose, what is Luciano going to do today? What will he be doing today? Please, the floor is, the virtual letter is yours.
Today, I have the privilege of evaluating Mr. Luciano Joao, who is delivering Level 1, Project 3 speech from the Leadership Development Pathway. The purpose of the project is for him to use vocal variety and body language to enhance his speech. His speech will be 5 to 7 minutes long, and I will be keenly observing how he uses vocal variety to evoke emotions and body language to reinforce his message. I will also assess his acute awareness of intentional and unintentional movements, noting any that may distract or enhance Luciano's objective, which is to make us aware of how he grew through serving others and to leave us inspired with a profound idea that when serving others, we are ultimately serving ourselves. I look forward to observing how he connects us through his vocal variety and body language to bring this message to life. And back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rose. Now, Toastmaster Luciano, how is the weather at your end? We heard there was someone that is raining somewhere. How is the weather at your end?
It's raining and it's warm at the same time.
But anyway, you are attending this meeting and you are home and dry.
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Now to your speech. Luciano, the title of your speech is Enlightened Self-Interest. Enlightened self-interest. Over to you, Luciano. The stage is yours.
Are you where you want to be in life? Think about this question. Are you where you want to be in life? Marshall Goldsmith, in his book, What Got You Here Will Not Get You There, tells you the process, how to answer that question, which is extremely important. Am I where I want to be? The answer is no. But I'm working towards getting to the place I want to be. That's the key aspect. There is that age-old question that we ask ourselves, that how do I improve? How do I get better? How do you go about answering that question? Because at certain stage in your life, you will have those questions to answer. Be it in your professional life or your personal life, you will have to answer those questions. I struggled with those questions when I finished my university and I started working. It came a time where I asked myself, how do I become a better professional in chemical engineering? This is the area where I work at. How do I become a better husband in my relationship? How do I become a better brother in my family relationship? So those are the age-old questions that you ask yourself in an acute way. But how do you answer that? How did I answer those questions? Because I'm on the way where I want to go. 6 years ago, I watched a video by Jim Rohn where he explains that. The title of the video is on YouTube. It's Enlightened Self-Interest, where he explains that when you want to develop, you have to serve others. And in the process of serving, providing service to others, you also develop yourself. So if you want to become a better husband, put the needs of your wife in the same scale or the same level of importance as yours. By doing that, you will be achieving the goals of your wife's needs, and at the end of the day, your goals also will be met by service. That's extremely important. In the workplace, you want to develop. How do you go about doing that? You have to serve the company. By helping the company achieve its goals, you, at the end of the day, you will move, you will progress. That's the whole objective. Service. You serve the company by helping it achieve its goal. At the end of the day, you also advance your career. You'll progress. That's the enlightened self-interest of progress. That's progress. You will do that. Then in your personal life, you want to get better at public speaking. What do? Help others get better doing that. Play your part. You will serve others. Provide feedback to others on how they can improve their public speaking. By doing that, you are improving yourself. You are improving yourself. And that's very key, because the concept of enlightening self-interest bases itself on the idea that helping others benefits yourself. Helping others benefits yourself. And by doing good, you do well. So you provide service to others, and at the end of the day, comes back to you. That's extremely important. How am I applying that? In my workplace, what I do is I advance the company's objectives, where every year I have the objectives of the company that I help advance. In helping that advance those objectives, I become better. For instance, this year I had a couple of objectives. I fully energize myself in order to help that. And in the process, you become a better person, better engineer. That's in my case. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. In my public speaking, where I need to speak, I need to get better, gain my leadership skills and communicating skills. I'm working on that by providing service, helping others. And in the process, I get better in that. That's something extremely important. And the other aspect, I want to become a better son, straighten the relationship with my parents. So I have to be present where I provide service. At the end of the day, I do benefit from that. So enlightening self-interest is a philosophy that I came across to help me move from where I am to where I want to be. Because we always want to improve. We want to get better because that's the nature of life. We have to improve because if we don't improve, you'll be forgotten at the end of the day. The same thing that happened to Kodak, the company. They were the market leaders. However, they did not improve. And in order to improve, I use the idea of helping others benefits myself. I found my way to help me improve. And that is working. In an acute way, that is working. So my call to you is find your way to improve, to get you from where you are to where you need to be. Find your way to improve. Thank you very much. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Luciano, for that very inspiring speech. Yes, enlightened self-interest helps one to move from where we are now and where we want to be. And serving others helps advances our own career, our own goal. Whatever you want to be, serve others, advance and provide excellent service to others, and then you will grow. Thank you for that speech. Now, our next speaker is Toastmaster Renan Asilia. Toastmaster Asilia. Okay, welcome. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Wonderful.
The second speech here at the leadership speech.
Wonderful. Now, Toastmaster Renan will be evaluated by Toastmaster Irene Sadia. Welcome, Irene. Please provide the objective of Toastmaster Renan's speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster John. Hello, everyone, and especially Renan. Renan today will be delivering his Level 1 Project 2 speech of the effective coaching pathway. The purpose of this speech is for Renan to write a speech with a purpose. He will deliver an effective, well-defined speech on a narrow enough topic. When I spoke with Renan, he said he would like me to pay attention to his delivery and fillers. All the best to you, Renan. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Irene Sadia. Now let's welcome Toastmaster Renan to the virtual lectern to deliver his speech titled My Pet Cats. My Pet Cats. Toastmaster Renan, the virtual lectern is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Just let me share my screen. I hope that you see now what I am presenting right now.
Yes.
All right. Fellow Toastmasters, guests, are you cat lovers like me? And have your own cats? I am delighted to share a bit about 3 very special members of our family. My cats, named Ching, Chimo, and Chevy. Each of them has their own unique characteristics and quirks. And together they bring abundance of joy and character into our home, aside from keeping the mouse away. Let's start with Ching is saying hi to you. Ching is the eldest of the trio and has been with us for 1.5 years already. From the moment we have him, it was clear he was a cat of distinction, as he looks like a small thin panda. With his sleek black and white fur and piercing yellow-gray eyes, he exudes an air of regal sophistication. Ching always stays in our backyard to guard our house. His favorite pastime is lounging in the sunny spots of the house, usually draped across a chair or stretched out the gate. Despite his aloof appearance, sometimes he has a surprisingly gentle side. When he decides to grace us with his presence, he is affectionate and enjoys a good head scratch. It's as if he's saying to you, meow, 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 meow. Yes, I am magnificent, but I am supposed I can make some time for you. Meow. Next is Himo. Himo is Ching's younger half-brother. And if you have ever heard the phrase full of beans, you would understand it perfectly. When describing him, he's a black cat, but fluffy ball of energy with playful streak that never seems to end. Himo's antics are a source of endless entertainment. He has a knack for turning even the most mundane objects into toys, whether it is a crumpled piece of paper or a stray of shoelace. Himo will find a way to turn into his own next adventure. His boundless enthusiasm is very contagious, and watching his chase after his own tail or pounce on an imaginary foe always brings a smile to my face. Kimo has an incredibly ability to brighten even the dullest days with his exuberance. And the third one is Chevy, our Himalayan cat. He is a big cat, but the youngest among the three, and has a personality of always very lively that perfectly complements us. Even with his distinctive vanilla and brown fur and bright gray blue eyes, Cherry is curious and inquisitive. He has a way of sneaking up on you when you least expect it, usually just to investigate whatever you are doing, whether it's trying to help with the laundry or getting into a middle of a good book. Chevy's curiosity knows no bounds. What makes his truly special is his gentle nature. Despite his energetic explorations, he is incredibly affectionate and has a way of curling up next to you, even you are sleeping on bed, purring contentedly as if to say, meow, I'm here for you, meow. Each of my cat brings something unique to our lives. Ching with his serene presence, Kimo with his playful energy, and Chevy with his curious charm. Together, they make a wonderful balanced feline family, each adding their own flavor to our home, and they all enrich my life, our family, in immeasurable ways. Having Ching, Kimo, and Chevy, these three cats in our family, is a constant reminder of the joy and comfort that pets can bring. They are not just cats. For me, they are not just cats. They are family members who make each day a little brighter and a lot more interesting. I feel incredibly lucky to have them, and I'm grateful for the companionship and abundance love they offer. Fellow Toastmasters guests, why don't you own a cat also if you don't have one yet? Cats are generally low maintenance compared to other pets, which can make them suitable for people with busy lifestyles like you. Their presence can also have calming effects, potentially lowering stress and anxiety levels. Additionally, interacting with cats can be enjoyable and enrich daily life with their playful and affectionate behaviors. That's all for my cats. And back to you, Toastmaster Albert.
Thank you, Toastmaster Renan, for sharing your pets with us today. And I can see in the chat there are so many pet lovers already who believe that your cats have their own characters themselves. Now, excuse me, to our fifth and final speaker today is Toastmaster Sandra Vox, the queen of straight talk. Can you spotlight? Great. Oh, I wanted to say, well, all right, great. Okay, thank you. So, yeah, and she will be evaluated by distinguished Toastmaster Rosie Rana. Rosie Rana, please share with us the objectives of Sandra's project and speech today.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Today, our Queen of Straight Talk will be delivering a project from the Dynamic Leadership Path, Level 1, Project 3, and this is using body language and vocal variety to enhance her speech. Now, our Queen of Straight Talk has an acute sense of awareness, and she is working more on vocal variety than on body language, and that's what we will be looking out for. Thank you so much, and back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Rosie Rana, also from Kenya. Today, our straight talking queen has chosen to incorporate reading and reflection together for an interesting approach to all social anxiety caused in our world today. Wars, divisiveness, competition from leaders from all the world, around the world. All this can leave us feeling anxious. Sandra hopes to bring a perspective of doing what's ours to do, which is to consider what is in our front instead of worrying anxiously over what we cannot control. She credits Edward Viga for this inspiration and for uncovering these wonderful poems, which are messages for calm. Please help me warmly welcome Sandra to deliver her speech, The Peace of Wild Things. The Peace of Wild Things. Sandra Vaux, the stage is yours.
Edward Viga's Advantages of Pulling Focus article could not be set aside, not by me. Pulling focus. Pulling focus. I had never heard that term before. As a terminology and concept, it really caught my attention. I wanted to know more. He shared, quote, one of the key aspects of choosing our focus is recognizing how many distractions we all face, how many internal and external forces constantly compete for our attention. It can be challenging to work with others, don't we know it? They can cause us to lose focus, and still, here in Leadership Speak, we experience the value of pulling together. Certainly in the world today, we can rapidly lose focus listening to the news or smiling and scrolling through social media. Both are essential for us to stay abreast of our world. And equally, in my opinion, both can tip us over into the extremes of fear, anger, anxiety. Both can pull our focus. Now, here's an interesting thing as an aside. This term, pull focus, actually originates in cinematography, where focus puller is an actual job title, drawing attention to that specific aspect they want us to view. I think I could apply for that job. Don't you? Could be fun. Could be dangerous. We must be alert in our daily lives, though. Why? Think about it. Just think about it. Where are those loud and distracting voices coming from? Those voices that are pulling our focus. The loudest voices, of course, are our own ever-shifting emotions, our own ever-shifting emotions, and the furious blizzard of our own thoughts. Especially now, when global feelings are running so strong, wars and politics and agony and pain. It's an apt reminder that rather than resisting, our work is to find the opportunity to learn and grow from all experiences. I invite you to just simply breathe. Simply breathe and quietly consider Rumi's wisdom for our world today in his old poem, The Guest House. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Rumi advises us that rather than resisting, we should welcome all that life offers us, looking for the gift in everything. Amidst the current global chaos, alongside Rumi, my friend Edward Vilga found this Wendell Berry poem deeply comforting. For me, I was definitely reminded of the wisdom of tending to what is in front of me to do. Wendell Berry's poem, The Peace of Wild Things. When despair for the world grows in me and I wake in the night at the least sound and fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought or grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting for their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world, and I am free. Oh, the presence of still water. That reminds me of Joseph Newgan's thought that, quote, the natural state of water is clear, and the natural state of our minds is also clear. The natural state of our minds is also clear if we do not disturb it. When presented with a bowl of dirty water, perhaps the most effective way to gain clarity is to let it settle. Taking comfort from nature, knowing that the lotuses arise from the mud, and also that when stillness is welcomed, even the dirtiest water clarifies itself. Ultimately, it's up to us whether we let internal and external storms distract our focus, or with a blend of science and art, employ the tools of mindfulness to pull our focus back to what's truly important. What will you choose to do today? Will you become anxious and angry, fearful and distracted? Or will you choose what's in front of you to do and turn to the calmness of the peace of wild things? Choose peace. Toastmaster.
Wow, wow, wow. The Queen of Straight Talk. Thank you very much for that inspiring speech. Certainly, I have chosen peace, which is right in my front. Again, the presence of the natural state of our mind is clear if we do not disturb it. Again, thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the speaking portion of our meeting today. And we will now move on to the second part, which is the evaluation part of the meeting. Now, for the benefit of our guests, you will notice that in the agenda that there is no table topics. Yes, there is no table topics because we are an advanced club and we do not do table topics. I need to do three things now. First is to invite the timer to please post the time of the speakers in the chat together. Next, I will also call on the Zoom master to please launch the best speaker poll. While that is going on, I would like to address the best effort speaker poll is is launched. So please vote. Now, again, I said, next, I would like to address our guests again. Dear guests, you have now seen our meeting and you have seen our speakers. Please leave us a note about what you think of this meeting. The link to our guest book is posted. Please complete it. Okay, Leah, could you kindly repost the link to our guest book so that our guests can see it in the chat? There is okay, yeah, I see it now. Yes, the link to the guest book is in the chat. Please complete it and give us your feedback. All right. Thank you. Close this. Tell us what you think of the meeting and individual speakers in that guest book. Thank you very much. Now, before I invite our general evaluator to the lectern, so yeah, as I've said, the next item on the agenda is to invite our general evaluator, who is Toastmaster Baron Ochola from Nairobi, Kenya, who will lead our evaluation segment of our meeting. Hello, Toastmaster Baron, how do you do?
Pastor John, I am well. How are you doing today? I see you have had all the fun today.
Yeah, and I see you have, is it cold over there or what? What is going on?
Just a little bit of weather change. We are not used to it, so we have to armor up as soon as the weather changes.
Okay. All right, so welcome. So I'd like to introduce Toastmaster Baron. Today we are honored to have Ochola Baron Omamantum as our general evaluator, a distinguished branding and graphic expert. Baron has transformed organizations with his creative vision while mentoring hundreds of young leaders through the Gavel clubs. As general evaluator, his commitment to excellence and empowerment will undoubtedly elevate our meeting. Let's give him a warm welcome. Please help me warmly welcome Toastmaster Baron. Over to you. The virtual letter is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster John. Just to make the slightest correction, I am in Uganda. So I can understand why in a blue restaurant than the So thank you so much for playing the meeting this far, and thank you to our members and guests for participating actively, especially keeping the chat extremely good. Today, it is my distinguished pleasure to be your general evaluator. With that, we know what we are going to do. This speech is here in what the evaluator is thought about it, and it is what we are going to do. To start us off, he is the evaluator of our toast today. Our toast was delivered by Toastmaster Nzengo Jase, And she will be evaluated by a Toastmaster who said about the theme, or rather, why the theme is important to her. She said strategic leadership is the gateway to bringing excellence rather, to whatever a leader. Join me in welcoming National Toastmaster Bindu and plan to evaluate.
Very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Vanana, my dear guests and Toastmasters. Zinga, you made an effective toast. You excelled at bringing the audience attention by embracing strategic leadership and telling that is a sure short way to excel as a leader. You had a good Zoom presence. You looked calm, composed, and confident while delivering the toast. How would you excel more, or how could you challenge yourself? Well, when you connected with the strategic leadership and how you can bring that to bring excellence in whatever you do was awesome. But your title being Becoming Distinguished should have been included in the final takeaway. By saying that, how can you become distinguished? Being distinguished is something which is meaning that you stand apart. What are you going to do by standing apart or live or set apart? And that is by creating your own strategies as a leader to bring excellence in whatever that you do. So the final is you need to connect the title with the theme to summarize very effective toast. You could become more exemplary by including this or connecting the title, how to become a distinguished leader, by embracing the strategic leadership. Thank you, and over to you, Bara.
Toastmaster Bindu, first thing to point was from the first statement you made. Toast was effective. And that is the idea behind every speaking opportunity that we get. Was it effective when we did? Thank you for pointing that out, as well as for the points of improvement that you shared. I'm just going to leave it in positively. In a role that is unique to leadership speak, I would say with good authority, it is the evaluator of the Toastmaster of the day. Ordinarily, we have the general evaluator. Since leadership speak is an advanced club, we go a step further and allocate them a specific individual. And today, to play that role is Toastmaster Leah Musunga. Over to you, Toastmaster Leah.
Thank you so much for that, Mr. General Evaluator. And to you, our Toastmaster of the day, John. We fellow Toastmasters, mostly for our guests, if you are joining us today, I want to just share with you that this meeting, in terms of the planning, is not something that happens within a week. It's something that's normally the person who's the Toastmaster of the day starts working on it at least 2 weeks in advance. So this is a process that actually started 2 weeks ago, and I want to definitely say well done to you, John, on ensuring that everything that happens in the back end was well executed, such that as we started off our meeting today, then everything slowly started flowing through really well. So there are a few things that I picked up that I thought you excelled at. I I found it really interesting that when you opened up with your introduction, you even stated the number meeting that we're actually having. That is it's sometimes quite interesting to hear that. So you had actually said this is the meeting number 148. I didn't even know that. So that's some additional knowledge that you're providing to the people in the meeting room, so that they are also aware, like, wow, okay, we've had this many meetings. And it was clear from your introduction also that you did introduce the theme really well for us to understand what was happening. And I also picked up that you engaged with most of the people who actually came to the virtual stage, because you did share with us that, oh, you come from this particular country. And also, it was also good that you were engaging with the speakers. You would ask them 1 or 2 questions. So that's a great way to engage with them, because sometimes people may feel a little bit nervous as they are coming to the virtual stage. And I think sometimes when you just ask them 1 or 2 questions, it helps to lower their nerves. During the speech presentation, you also offered a short summary for each speaker after they concluded their speech, which I thought was well executed. And you, in terms of engaging our guests, you kept on telling them that there was a guest book shared in the chat, and even told them that the agenda was available for them to follow through. So those were very well executed. So in terms of what I noticed as maybe areas of improvement, as obviously this is an online meeting, you sometimes just have to be careful in terms of overlapping of speech, because there were occasions where someone was still speaking and then maybe you spoke, or you were speaking and then the other person wasn't aware that maybe you were you were still continuing to speak. So that's just working on our listening skills, just to ensure that we give each other a chance to speak, because unfortunately in an online environment, we can't have more than one person speaking, because it then results in us not being able to understand clearly what is happening. And another thing that I picked up is that maybe at the beginning of the meeting, you could have stated in terms of the flow of the meeting, saying there'll be initially we'll have speeches, and then we'll definitely have the feedback session, just so that if someone is a guest, they can be aware that there would be a feedback session that will be provided. Also a way to encourage them to stick around, so that they could also appreciate this brilliant aspects that we find in Toastmasters. And then finally, it did appear on certain occasions that you were looking down as you were speaking. Obviously, because it's an online environment, it's always good to maintain that eye contact. So I'm not too sure if your agenda was on your phone or you had printed it out, but just be mindful that you're trying to connect with your audience, which is always our camera lens. So as much as we can look down to just verify some of our notes, we shouldn't spend an extended time with our head down, because you then lose connection with your audience. Other than that, well done in executing your role today. Lovely that you were engaging with the speakers this day. And like I said, just be mindful in terms of the communication that happens when we are online. Thank you, and back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
You, Toastmaster Leah, I must point out that if there were to be a contest where we evaluate, but instead of evaluating a test speaker, we evaluate Toastmasters of the day, your performance would be up there, because you highlighted exactly what the strong points were, as well as what the improvements should be. And you paid great keen attention, because that's where I was also going to go if you hadn't pointed out, for example, about facing down. And the only glaring thing that I would say is watching the time, being mindful of the time. And I noticed the timer still has the reds, something also to work on, but being mindful of the time such that you are well within the team and you don't get disqualified out of that contest. Next, we shall go to our first, and when I say first, I don't mean first speaker, I mean our first leadership speaker, our education speaker, who spoke to the theme today of strategic leadership, excellence through service. And that is the evaluator of Toastmaster Dan Odero, who is Toastmaster Mrinal Kanti Ghosh. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. At the end of the day, we all are storytellers, but only how we make it memorable one. And exactly, I want to say with Dan Odero. One thing is important for any storytelling is about the clarity and simplicity. Today we learned that visualization is a key to leading any strategies. We learn a lot of things about the key strategies, and you talk about the key characteristics of the strategic leadership and how we can develop strategic leadership quality. You talk about in very clarity, and I'm talking about very simplicity, so that everybody can correlate what you are doing. Second thing about your strength, I must say, that is vocal variety. You always try to use your vocal variety. Use tone, speed, volume as a tools whenever it is required. And third part, which I like most about the connection with the audience with eye contact. Throughout your speech, you maintain the eye contact with the audience. And it's very challenging when you are in the Zoom presence. Let's talk about the few things you may try to work upon to becoming a better version of yourselves. Talking about audience connections, your speech length is 18 to 22 minutes. And you ended it just 12 minutes. So better you can have some questions in the chat box also regarding what do you understand by strategic leaderships, or what is your key learning, anything. You can capture the audience attention by asking questions, because you are an educational speaker. You have a lot of time. You have another, I think, almost 10 minutes time. So that you can utilize. Even you can use some slide deck, because strategic, your topic, I think, is very key component. I'm talking about the strategic leaderships. So that part you can keep for the benefit of the group. Another thing I'm talking about, I think, I know that is very much important for any speaker, those who presents. So I'm talking about your gesture. You are very close to camera. So that's why you, throughout your speech, you use your gesture through your hand gesture, but that is not properly visible, because reason behind that is you are very close to the camera. So that producer should be careful, because when you are hand gesture moving throughout your speech. So overall, if you ask me, clarity with your message and simplicity throughout your speech, anybody can connect. Vocal variety you maintain throughout your speech. Eye contact is also there, but try to improve how you can capture the audience connection through a story, a powerful story. Gesture you should take care of properly, and if possible, try to use in slide deck, because as an educational speaker, so people can more connected with you. So that's all from my side. All the best for your next speech, Dan. Back to you, G.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mrinal. I will point out similar feedback that I have given, which is wonderful evaluation, noting the key areas. But here is one thing that we need to really be cognizant of as speakers, and that is the time. The time. When we go over time, then especially for a meeting where we have other public speakers, their minds are tuned to turning off when it's over time. So we need to make sure that we keep it within time. But otherwise, very productive feedback. And yes, I do not know if you also took note of the discrepancy that we had with the timer showing cards earlier. That could have contributed to Toastmaster dance performance. But a very well put feedback. Just to confirm, Zoom Master, can you hear me better? Because I was getting some feedback that I had a challenge in that aspect.
Much better now.
Thank you so much. With that being said, our first speaker was Toastmaster Hannah Schmidt, who is going to be evaluated by a Toastmaster who said about the theme and why it's important to her that, as an educator, the main goals of strategic leadership are focused on students' effective learning, setting more achievable targets, and taking proper steps in addition to assessing strengths and weaknesses and learning and of the learning context and the teachers. Quite a statement, a lengthy statement. So I know we need to have another conversation with the evaluator about this. But for now, let me invite her to deliver her evaluation. Toastmaster Zahra Moha, over to you.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. Hannah, thank you for providing a proper explanation about your negotiation style and some of the strategies that you use in your personal story to buy your dream house throughout some persuasive tone of speaking and vocabulary. As a matter of fact, your structure and organization, I think, was greatly organized. It was a well-organized structure. You introduced 3 different types of style: lose-lose, which is just the matter of the competitive aspect, win-lose. Competitive is win-lose for competitive aspect. And for your style, which is collaborative style, it was a sort of win-win style in order to accommodate everyone's wish and dreams come true. Your message was clear throughout your speech: buy or not to buy. You mentioned it in 3 different places throughout your speech. And you tried to engage with the audience with some sort of questions at the beginning and as a call to action at the end. For example, you mentioned that have you ever been influenced to buy something for a better future? Or what would your negotiation style will be if you're really into something? So you just invite people or the audience in order to become more alert to the situation and think about their negotiation next time. Your language and rhetoric was excellent. I think you tried to use some persuasive language and some sort of literary words and bringing a quote from J.F. Kennedy, so never fear to negotiate, and that adds value to your speech. Your dribble skills was great, as in a sort of using vocal variety, tone, and you try to be a successful negotiator. Zoom presence, I noticed you change your background into something plain, which was a tactful action. For put it to a higher level, recommendation can be given that using role play between you yourself, inner Hannah, and the agent, I prefer to have some sort of signals, such as change in local variety or change in location here or here to have a better Zoom presence. The summary was not very effective, though you bring some engaging and strong messages. Be confident and assertive. All in all, wish you all the best in your future presentation.
Thank you, Toastmaster Zahra, for the structure of the evaluation. Clearly, introduction, body, conclusion, and points to note. I wouldn't add much to that. Thank you so much. I would only say the Zoom presence you have, everything that you're pointing out, you have it. So now just up the energy while you're evaluating, such that you have the audience know that it is a presentation as well, not just an evaluation. Our next evaluator specifically said for a leader to excel in leadership, in a leadership role rather, it is pivotal to have a success strategy in place. And that is where strategy must come in. Join me in welcoming Toastmaster Nokawe Nkosi to evaluate Toastmaster Paramjit Singh.
Thank you, General Evaluator Baron. Toastmaster Paramjit.
Just a second before you continue. Timer, could you please switch back to neutral card, or because this evaluator is starting and you're on red?
Thank
Over
you.
to you, Toastmaster Nokawe.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Toastmaster Paramjit, you have achieved the objective of your speech, which was to introduce yourself to the club, as well as learning the basic structure of public speaking. In terms of your speech, it was well structured. You had a clear introduction, the body, as well as the conclusion. You took us through the journey of your life through the speech with clarity. Your voice captured our attention, which means you have engaged the audience very well using your voice. In terms of the vocal variety, it was clear, it was easy to follow the speech that you shared with us. Since it was an icebreaker, it was all about you introducing yourself. You have used the evidence very well. You've taken us through your career, which means your life and your professional journey with clarity. You excelled in using your personal story very well. You used a very clear language, simple language that was easy to follow. Your delivery skills were exceptionally well. Your Zoom presence was well. What I missed, it was a strong conclusion in your speech, as well as your time management. I should think what affected the conclusion was because you were now running out of time and we're trying your best to still fall within. In conclusion, your delivery skills in terms of public speaking, it's very well. It's just that you need to work on timing yourself prior delivering your speech so that your conclusion can be delivered very well. The structure was well. I wish you all the best in the next speeches that you'll deliver. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nokawe. Very important point to note is that you spoke of time and then you used time well. So that is leading by example, as well as capturing the energy that he had. As you said, his vocal variation, and he was right there. I specifically know that Toastmaster Paramjit's speech was delivered with so much energy, which elevated the speech. One point to you on your part would just be Zoom presence. Just make sure that you are actively in the, you see, when you're laid back on Zoom, it is very easy to see. And then when you are, you see the difference? So just mind your Zoom presence so that your delivery hits the right note that you are hitting, but well done on that. Next is Toastmaster Rose Pamela, who is going to evaluate our third speaker, Toastmaster Luciano. And she said, brace yourselves for this. The theme strategic leadership, excellence in service resonates deeply with her because it aligns with her passion for servant leadership. It aligns with her PhD focus as well as her focus in organizational performance, as well as her commitment to positively impacting society through leadership experience. Over to you, Toastmaster Rose Odundo.
Congratulations, Luciano, on delivering a very engaging speech, and it was very well structured. You excelled in maintaining a clear structure with a defined beginning. You had a body and you had a conclusion. And you ensured that we followed your message quite well. You had a very captivating opening. You asked us, are you where you want to be? And you used Martin Goldsmith's quote that said, what got you here will not get you there. And that set the tone. What were your strengths? You had a very good structure and flow. Your speech was well organized with smooth transitions. I liked your pauses. They were very thoughtful. And especially after the opening question, you gave the audience time to reflect. You had very good body language. Your hand gestures and movements complemented the speech theme, enlightening self-interest. You had very good vocal variety. It was noticeable that there was an improvement, and you added a bit of depth, and you kept the audience engaged. Good eye contact and a little more movement. Areas that you could improve to make your speech more impactful is in the area of specificity. You could give more concrete examples on how serving others contributed to your personal growth, such as when you aligned with the company objectives and goals. How did that help you improve? And even as you aligned to what your wife likes, how did that help you grow? In your conclusion, you may want to strengthen it by summarizing the key lessons that you have learned and leaving a lasting impression using emotional resonance. And with emotion, just amplify the impact of your final question by delivering it with a little more emotion. And where do I suggest you can grow? You can use the power of 3 to emphasize your key takeaways for greater impact. And then you can incorporate richer and more personal anecdotes and insights to make your speech more relatable and inspiring. And as you ended with a motivational call to action, you may want to add the ending. You said, find your way to improve from where you are to where you want to be. You may have added by serving others. Overall, Luciano, your speech was inspiring and well delivered. And with a few refinements, it has the potential to leave a profound impact on your audience. Keep up the great work as you move to your next level. Congratulations, Luciano.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rose Odundo. I have nothing to add to that. Well done, well executed. So we will segue to our fourth speaker's evaluator, and that is Toastmaster Irene Sadia, who says a leader with a clear strategic plan provides an environment that enables the team to grow and execute a culture of excellence. Toastmaster Irene to evaluate our fourth speaker, Toastmaster Renan. Over to you, Toastmaster Irene.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. Renan, thank you for delivering this speech. You excelled in being effective. Why do I say that? So I will tell you what you excelled at and what you could improve on. You excelled by hooking us with a question, not just 1, 2. You asked, are you a cat lover? Or do you own cats? So that drew us in. And then you clearly told us about who your cat's names. Ching, Himo, Chevy. And it is very clear that Ching is the regal and serene one. Himo is the playful one. And Cherry is the curious one. What else did you do well? You had this dialogue between you and your cats, where, for example, one you used, like it looked like your cat was speaking back to you, that kneel a pat on my back. I can't get it as well as you did, but you really did that effectively. That you did really well. What else did you excel at? I like the fact that you brought PowerPoints, so we were able to connect with your cats. We could see them, we could see the color, we could see the look in their eyes, we could see their fur, and they really look well kept. What could you have done better, Renan? When you asked us questions, you quickly moved on, and there was a lot of engagement in the chat. That was a good place for you to kind of read out some of the comments we were seeing that were being projected because of your questions. And because of that, you missed that opportunity. You also had a call to action. You asked us, why don't you own a cat? And you gave us the benefits of owning. And so your voice is very calm, probably because of some of the benefits that cats have a very calming effect. They are enjoyable and enrich your life. So they have definitely done that for you. So to summarize, you have done well. You have brought your cats to light. We can see them very clearly. You ask us questions, which help you to connect with us, help us to connect with you. But if you could just pace yourself, respond to the questions as you ask them, and then that will help you connect better with others, with your audience. Overall, well done speech. You definitely communicated effectively about the pet cats in your home. That is Ching, Kimo, and Cherry. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Irene. And I must say this for you and all the evaluators, the listening skills in leadership speak out of here. They're off the charts. Thank you so much for a well-delivered evaluation as well, and for pointing out, really covering what that entailed. Our fifth evaluator is Toastmaster Rosarana DTM, and she says, I want to give the consumers of our products best value always. And to do this, I must think strategically in all instances. And the products that she's talking about, this can't go without saying. The products that she's talking about is the wonderful Dorman's coffee. She will be evaluating Toastmaster Sandra Vox. Over to you, Toastmaster Rosarana.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Is it possible for anyone to find peace when we are faced by war, agony, when we have blizzards of thoughts in our minds? Fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen, Sandra began very effectively as she dived in and used an acutely thought-provoking statement referring to an author where she talked about pulled focus. At this stage, she used a technique which is used by advanced speakers, very advanced speakers. She got into our minds because this is a statement which is not very commonplace. So she realized the curiosity we had and said that she too couldn't really understand this terminology. Her facial expressions were aligned with that confusion that, like, what is this? What does this mean? And she continued to then break it down cleverly and effectively. As she spoke about the chaos in the world, her voice, her vocal tone matched and was congruent with the fear, the anger. Her gestures also were aligned, those blizzard of thoughts, those voices. I thought all of that was extremely, extremely effectively done. Another thing that was particularly admirable for me was the eye contact. I was aware, because she had told me earlier, and the Toastmaster of the day was also aware, that she was reading some passages. She had recitations, and when you're reciting a poem for vocal variety, that's really beautiful. But I could see her look at us. So I'm not sure how she placed the notes, but you looked at us. At no stage did I feel that your eyes wavered, Sandra, and I thought that was beautifully done. And finally, you had a beautiful message conveyed through Rumi, which was about finding the gift in all this chaos, you know, stopping to think, stopping to pause. Extremely, extremely well done. Now, how do I believe that you could elevate this to the next level? First, because you were talking about peace in wild things, I mean, that in itself sounds like, you know, an anomaly. I would have liked you, when you say to us, to invite us to breathe. Be congruent, breathe yourself. That would have helped you slow down. Your intonation would have matched that statement, and you would have been able to use a deeper, slower tone. And that again is vocal variety, varying it, slowing down. That would have really elevated it. Secondly, because you had such thought-provoking remarks, I would have liked you to pause, because it is in the silence of the pause that we, the audience, can reflect, can think about these deep statements. But that said, a beautifully impactful message and delivery. So in summary, you used your eye contact very well. You varied your tone quite well. You could have been effective, more effective had you paused, had you slowed down. Thank you very, very much. And I really look forward to the beautiful, rich presentations like this one. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rosie. You've heard it from Leadership Speaks evaluators, so you know what it is. Thank you for highlighting that. Especially one thing to point out from you is the wording, when you are the wording and the intensity with which you deliver that feedback. I think you can see I'm picking up on it right now as we speak. So that is wonderfully done. And to that, I have to say, all the evaluators of Leadership Speak show us that not only do we deliver amazing speeches, but we also go a step further and elevate them through our evaluations of them. You've seen it today, Toastmasters and guests. At this juncture, allow me, or together, let's invite our timer to post the time in the chat, and our grammarian to share. Before I go to the grammarian, allow me to do some consultations. President, final consultation. Agenda I have in front of me does not have trainer, but I believe you would still benefit greatly from hearing from you.
If you have the latest agenda, I'm there. So it was put in very late last night by Corinne. So I was surprised to see it there. I'll be ready. Just call on me after the grammarian.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Our grammarian, Toastmaster Mariam, we are ready for what you have to serve today.
Yeah, thank you so much, General Evaluation. As the grammar for the today, actually, just I want to follow Toastmaster and the guests. Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon for the all global. Actually, regarding for the word of the day, acute, just I can say, yes, just I can say it already. I heard only from the Toastmaster of the day. When I finish, he repeats the word acute. And the second person, Toastmaster Luciana, he mentioned during the speech. I heard this twice is the word of the day. As my personal for the today, I have the responsibility to the accurate listening and accurate observation. Just we go to the throw some actually report as the grammarian for tonight. For the Toastmaster, then just I want to correct some visualization create twice. The correct way we can, he mentioned, vision create wisdom, or vision leads to the wise decision. The second thing, needs by the address. The correct way, this needs addressing or addressing this is necessary. For the second Toastmaster, Hannah, by the quote she mentioned by the John Kennedy, let's us never negotiate out of the fair, but let's us never fair to the negotiate. She again mentioned, I suggest reduce price. The correct way, I suggest reducing the price. She mentioned sometimes influence in future. The correct one, sometimes it influence the future. Toastmaster Paramajit, three things we can take as my personality takeaway. First, life gives you something, just need be careful. Second, hard working. Third, always learn from mistake. Toastmaster Luciana, he give to us very important things. Are you where you want to be in life? Just this the amazing, we can come back to ourselves. He mentioned helping others become for you the correct way. Helping others becomes beneficial for you. He mentioned finding yourself to improve the correct way, finding yourself in order to improve, or finding yourself to improve your life. To the Toastmaster Rana, each my cats bring something to my life. The correct one. Each of my cats brings something to my life. Toastmaster Sandra, pulling focus. Actually, this is a nice word. Actually, I like it. She mentioned the natural state of the mind is the clear, and she mentioned choose peace. The key of the choose focusing, listening to the news or the smiling to the social media, the correct way. The key is the choosing to focus on listening to the news or scrolling through the social media. To evaluation, Toastmaster Bindu. How you challenge yourself the correct way? How do you challenge yourself? The second evaluation, Mirnala, simply clarify and this is the correct. The evaluation, Sadia, what do you have make better? The correct way, what do you have to make better? Actually, this is all my report as the grammarian for tonight meeting. Hopefully, with the, actually I tried with the acute to listening and the observing and the give to the report. Over to you, Toastmaster, general evaluation.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mariam. It is important that we acutely execute our leadership with excellence and with a focus on service. Now, before I invite Toastmaster Bram, I would like to invite for the poll to be launched. I see it has already been launched. Yes, for the poll to be launched. With that being said, to the guests, for the benefit of the guests, we have a specific session in Leadership Speak called the trainer session, which is usually facilitated by our president, DTM Bram Memon. And this is to ensure that we get the most value out of this time that we spend in Leadership Speak. So over to you, DTM Bram, to share with us our insight on the meeting.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. I'll wait for me to be spotlighted and then I will speak. Madam Zoom Master. Thank you very much. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, once again, especially for the benefit of the guests, as to what are we doing here, actually. And the word audience appears on the screen here is because every speech has to be about an audience. I'm just trying to get the poll out of my screen here, so blocking what I'm seeing here. So every speech has to be about the audience. Every presentation, everything that we do here is geared towards the audience. And so when a speaker speaks, or when an evaluator is doing an evaluation, it is all geared towards the audience, up towards the guest, towards the Toastmasters. Is there a takeaway for the people who are present here? If there's no takeaway, then as an advanced club, we haven't really done service to you as a guest or as somebody who was present in the meeting. So here's something that we sort of focus on. How is any presentation focused or structured? Whether it's a Toastmaster of the Day, as you know, Toastmaster of the Day got an evaluation because they are speaking from managing an online meeting to the toast and all the speeches as well. And then the evaluators were evaluated by the general evaluator. So how is the presentation structured? Is the presentation structured in a way that has a call to action for the audience in the end? Is there an audience takeaway? So when we are creating a presentation, are we thinking about the audience takeaway to begin with? And today we found that it was much better. We are improving on that scale. Of course, we have some new members, some members who are already been around for quite a while. So there are different places in the journey towards achieving that as well. Now, based on the conclusion, what was the title and what was the opening? Was it effective? And based on that, how was the presentation constructed towards the conclusion? And in the end, ladies and gentlemen, was the presentation, number one, was the presentation there to inform, inspire? Was it there to motivate, persuade, or entertain? So how did the evaluators feel about that? What did they notice in terms of their speakers? I would like to ask the speakers and the evaluators, did you connect with each other to sort of make sure that you understood the project and what was the key thing that the speaker was going to be focusing on today? Because as we know here in Leadership Speak, the speaker and the evaluator are partners. They're not sitting on the opposite sides of a fence. So if you're partners, then you should be connecting with each other and making sure that those sort of things happen. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to ask if you can spotlight Nzinga here with me. And let's see if, oh, there you go. I can find her. There you go. You can spotlight me as well. All right, we'll wait for the Zoom master to do the job. Wonderful. So Nzinga, how's it? Well, by the way, Nzinga is actually focusing on how the evaluators and the speakers are coordinating and what the evaluators are getting at the end out of this exercise, and are the speakers becoming better at speaking. So now we have a form that we roll out to everyone. It's a tool if you wish to use it, of course, but here we are committed to your education. Nzinga, how's it all going with that?
The evaluators are being engaged by me individually. I'm sending the form, and most of them acknowledge and review it, tell me they will be reviewing before the evaluation, engaging with the speakers, and are completing after the speeches. The evaluation forms, if used fully, have included the 2 links from the previous workshops you delivered on critical thinking for evaluators, Bram, and also 10 questions for a self-assessment on how the evaluators consider they deliver their evaluation. So it's a preparation, it's an ongoing tool, and a form to be used several times as we work on our evaluation skills and also helping the speakers preparing in a structured way their speeches. We are getting responses. Hopefully we'll start seeing improvements more and more as we use the forms.
Amazing. Wonderful. And I don't know who the audience voted for as the best evaluator, but I can say one thing, that I noticed something about the GE. After Rose Odundo had finished her evaluation, the GE said nothing to add. Did we all notice that? I think Rose Odundo did an excellent evaluation. It was wonderfully done. Every element of what a classic evaluation should be included in an evaluation was included in that evaluation. I think that all evaluators, including me, I think I should really rewatch because we record this, what Rose Odundo did, and take away things from her evaluation that was just amazingly well put. Thank you, Rose, for that. I don't know, of course, who won, who the audience voted for, but it was done very well as well. What I liked about Irene was she began with, she will be telling the speaker where the speaker excelled and where they could improve perfectly, just as we would expect in an advanced club. And so did Rosie, begin with one of those things. And Sandra, congratulations. It was the title was Intriguing Piece of Wild Things, and then you spoke about focus, and so it really did tie in. Very well done, very well thought out presentation, Sandra. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I will pass this back on to General Evaluator for what's left of the meeting and his evaluation. Over to you, Baron.
Thank you, DTM Bram and Toastmaster Nzinga. I'm not sure what to say about the entirety of the meeting from what you have said and from what all the evaluators have said. So I'm going to highlight this. About evaluation, we have already had it, and you've seen the example that has been set, the standard that has been set. I have knowledge of 4 as 1, but I will keep that to later on. So let me take it back to the Toastmaster of the day. Just to highlight the preparation process, I am absolutely envious of your preparation process, your attention to detail. You need to meet everybody and make sure that we are all at par and that we are excelling. Toastmaster John, you did well at that. The preparation process was well worth it, and in the execution, we saw it seep through. And you already given evaluation, so I'm not going to share much to that, but I just have to say that. Now, I want to share feedback with perhaps the 3 people who are never evaluated in our meeting, and that is the timer, the Zoom master, as well as the grammarian. For the timer, the first thing is being acutely cognizant of time. Make sure that on the dot, you take off the clock if the next speaker is coming on, and then this. But then, more than anything, our best friend in this meeting is the agenda. So pay attention to the agenda, so that not everybody is going to deliver the same speech of the same time. They're all different projects, and it will be hard to inform and say, so and so is at this. Instead, the agenda lays out everything, and that helps to guide. And if I am not wrong, that might have been what threw off our leadership speaker today. So apologies for that. And for the timer, thank you so much for a job well done as well. As we know, it is a learning curve, and we are there with it. The next to say is to the speakers about time. I will note, and not on a happy note, that we had 3 evaluators over time. We had 2 speakers over time and 1 speaker below time. So it is not something that we should ignore. We might think it is a one-time thing, and then that is the report that it sends off. Then when we come to, I think time was the main thing that I wanted to speak about, but generally about the speeches and about the evaluators, they were excellent. The energy was there. Everybody was engaged as far as their preparation, their delivery, the introductions, this and that. The Zoom master as well, that acute cognizance, I'm overusing that, that cognizance of making sure that the right person is on and the right person is on. And this is really why we're in leadership speak, because not only do you learn how to speak, but you learn those other skills that happen in the background. With that being said, I feel that everything has been said, and anything that has not been said will be said as time goes on. But for today's meeting, I would like to hand it over to our Toastmaster of the day. Back to you, Toastmaster John.
Thank you, Toastmaster Baron. The next item on the agenda is the thought of the day, and this will be given or provided by Toastmaster Gilda Slair. Toastmaster Gilda Slair, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster John. Leadership comes in many types and styles. To earn the title of strategical leader and having turned every of our investment into real profit, we need to have a high level of emotional intelligence, known as EI. And this is my thought for today. Toastmaster Zinga, the toast giver, said excellence is an attitude. Our education module presenter, Toastmaster Daniel, said key factor in being strategic leader is to have a vision and then execute it with the rest of the team. Get everybody involved in it. Our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster John, said, in today's competitive world, leading strategically is essential. By pairing service and dedication with leadership is excellent way. Excellence become foundation of every organization. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, here is my story. My name is Gilda. My name is Gilda. I'm really good in math. I love math. We could go back to when I was 12 years old. I never liked my name. I never liked the subject matter until I was 12 years old and started junior high, grade 7. The first day of the meeting, the math teacher walks in, introduced herself, and then she asked us to say our names. I stood up and I said, my name is Summer. I denied that my name is Gilda. She called me at the recess and she asked me, why don't I like my name? I told her because nobody could pronounce Gilda. She made me. She told me the meaning of it. She instilled that confidence in me to make me like my name. And she did that with every else in the class. Our teacher had a goal that all her students should pass the provincial math exam with an average of 73% in order to get her promotion. She made her goal to become our goal by instilling our confidence in us and make the math class an enjoyable class. At the end of the year, her goal became ours and ours became hers. We passed with good average. She got the promotion. I call her a strategical leader. Would you agree with me? Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Gilda, for that effective thought of our meeting today. Now, I would like to call on the master to please share the results of the Best Speaker, Best Evaluator, Evaluator certificates. Okay, congratulations, Sandra Vaux, Best Speaker, Distinguished Toastmaster, and Distinguished Toastmaster Rosie Rana. Thank you. Now, in the interest of time, I probably have to, again, my final comment will be to our guests. Thank you for coming, and we really, I hope that you enjoyed our meeting today and learned a few things about leading strategically. The link to the guest book is in the chat. Please go to the chat and click on the link and fill out our guest book. Please don't leave, because I will be our founder and president, Distinguished Toastmaster, excuse me, Distinguished Toastmaster Bram Memon, will be chatting with you. So, without further ado, please, it is my pleasure to call on our president, Distinguished Toastmaster Bram Memon, to address the guests. Over to you, Bram.
Thank you. Thank you, John. We have quite a number of guests here today, and that's just a wonderful thing to do, to have. And Gilda brought a guest with her, and she said, and I think she's from Greece. Did you say? No, from Germany. Antonia. How are you doing, Antonia? If you can just spotlight Antonia for me, and I know her video is on there. So
yes, hi, Bram. Thank you for introducing me. Yes, Gilda told me about your club, and that's why I'm here. I wanted to visit you. I was born in Barcelona, Spain. I live in Germany since 2007, and I just finished my, I'm Distinguished Toastmaster. I achieved that beginning of this month.
congratulations. And
Thank you.
I've already spoken to you briefly on WhatsApp, and you've indicated you want to be a member. I saw your name in the guest book as well. So we will have a
Yes.
conversation at some point in time to see how we can transition you into being a member here. Thank you for
Yes.
coming today.
I just have a suggestion. Maybe
Sure,
it does not
absolutely.
make sense for you, but I was thinking that because some clubs, after every speech, there is the opportunity for all attendants to give a feedback to the speaker during one minute only. I was thinking that maybe you want to apply that, because at the end of the day, then every speaker has not only one feedback, but may have more feedback. Just 1 minute to say, let's say, like sandwich evaluation,
Thank you.
commendations and recommendations.
Thank you very much. I heard you, Antonia. Thank you very much. And we have considered this before, and we've decided to have it the way it is right now. But thank you, and we will consider that in the future as well. Our next guest that I can see on the screen is Felix Conde. Hi, Felix. Are you there? And of course, if you notice, there's Aminata Keita, who is from District 94. Hi, Felix. How are you?
I'm good, Bram. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. Felix, are you from West Africa somewhere?
No, I'm actually from Kenya.
Jambo, habari yako?
Mzuri sana.
Unatoka Kenya basi. Unatoka wapi? Which town are you from?
I'm from a town called Athi River in Kenya.
You're from Athi River. Wow. Amazing. And
yes, a few
that's a very
kilometers
small
from
place,
Nairobi.
Athi River, or must have grown bigger now since I've been in Kenya. Are you a member of
Yeah, it's,
Toastmasters over there?
yes, I'm actually a member of current Toastmasters in Nairobi.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I know Athi River is okay. So I know Athi River is not too far from Nairobi.
Yes, just a few
And I
kilometers.
think they had a cement factory there or something, or a cement depot or something. Long time back. I don't know if they still have it. I'm talking
Yeah,
very.
it's still there. It's still there.
Still there? Wow. Look at my
Yes.
memory. Anyway, so how did you enjoy our meeting? And are you thinking of becoming a member? Karibu.
Thank you. I was actually invited by Dan Odero. We met with Dan at a meeting. Sorry for
Yeah.
the background. Sorry for the background.
No
I
worries.
met with Dan at a meeting at least
Yeah.
a week ago, and he told me he's part of a club that meets on Saturdays, Leadership Speak. It's an advanced club. And I said, why not come and experience what Leadership Speak is all about? And this is my first time today visiting an advanced club. And I can say quite an experience. I don't have words to describe, but I'd say it's levels above what we experience in our normal Toastmasters meetings.
Right.
And I'd like to come again and experience it more and certainly learn from it.
Absolutely. Please do come as often as you like. And if you're thinking of becoming a member, I hope you put your name in the guest book and we will connect with you at some point in time.
Okay.
Pleasure to have you, Karibu.
Thank
I'd
you
like
very
to,
much.
of course, talk to Aminata Keita, who is from West Africa, District 94, past district director from there. I think SMED is distinguished. So good to see you again, Aminata. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you very much. You know, I've been willing so much to belong to this club, this beautiful club. So every time I can, even if I'm busy, I get connected. Sometimes I cannot open up my video, but I'm there. That means that I'm still coming. You know how you attracted me. You say if you want to implement huge projects, then you have to come and become a member of this club.
Absolutely.
I've not forgotten. I'm going through my last mandate of region advisor, which is busy. I'm going to Saudi on Monday to visit my districts. But
wow.
I can say after the RA, I'll be there, inshallah.
Inshallah. So when does your RA complete? Is that in June of next year or?
Yes, June. So right after June, I'm ready now to, what I'm scared of is Toastmasters, you cannot, even when they tell you, no, just become a member, we won't bother you, you won't get involved. After 2 months, the people who told you that forget that they told you that. And they say, okay, you are not involved. So that's why. Otherwise, really, you are doing a great job and congratulations for that, really.
Thank you, Aminata. Thank you very much. And yeah, let's keep talking and please do come visiting and let's talk after June as well and see
All right.
if we can transition.
Okay.
Into
Thank you
membership.
so much.
Thank you for being here today.
You're welcome.
And I think that's about all the members that I need to talk to. I mean, guests that I need to talk to. The other guests that I see here, just one or two, they are our regular visitors, so we will.
I understand Lois is new. It's the first time she's coming.
Sorry, who is that? And I don't see them here on my screen. Who's the name again?
Lioce. I think it was, excuse me, Untati. Untati, what's the name of your friend?
I don't see her.
She seems to have gone.
Oh, okay.
In the list.
Thank you, John. I think we've talked to all the guests in that case, and I will actually pass it back to you, John. Over to you, John.
Thank you, Brown.
Welcome. And
By
thank
the
you.
powers invested in me as the Toastmaster today, I hereby adjourn this meeting. Please stop